G'day friends, and welcome to our Across the Waves Sunday share. Today I'm going to be playing with something a little bit different. I have been sharing an album that I'm creating for 25 Days of Christmas, but I received this set during the week and I thought we'd have a play with it. It's Pink Fresh Studio and it's called the Playful Petals. Now in the set is the stamp set, which we'll be using, the die cuts, which we're using. This is the press plate, we won't be using that. And I've got a set of dies, stencils, which we're going to use as well. Well, only a couple of them because, yeah, just a couple of them. So first up, we'll grab our kit. Hopefully we've got everything. Just let me fix this up. Now I will have the link to my blog below and you'll be able to, excuse me, click on that and check out to see what Robbie has done. Now I have pre-done a couple of things. And I have pre-done a couple of flowers. Well, I think I have. But we'll soon find out. But I'm going to show you how we did the flowers. And we're going to do a bit of a wow to our card. Here's the other flower. Okay. Now, I'll grab our scrap of basic white and we're going to stamp our flowers, eh? So we'll just bring out this big one. I've been eyeing this off for quite a while and I finally reneged and grabbed it. Bring in our block. Now I only want the 3 flowers, eh? That's all we want. So we'll ink that up in black. It's just Memento Tuxedo. And we're gonna stamp this straight on here like that. So we've got the 3 flowers and I am pressing down a little bit hard because I want it to be a good image. We could have used our Misty, but I keep forgetting about it. Then we're going to bring in our, do you know what we haven't got are the inks. Hold on. I'm just going to grab our ink, and I think it was this colour. Sparkling Rose, I think. It's a Pink Fresh Studio one as well. And we want, now in this set you get 5 different ones, okay? 2, 3, 4 and 5. I usually number my masks so that I know which order to put them in, although in this instance it doesn't really matter. So what we're going to do is just place our mask on top of our stamp, and I should have my sticky mat with me, but because it's only the flowers that we want, I don't think it's going to make much difference. Now, I will admit that these are really, really easy to line up. Just have a little bit of patience and that's about right. Oh, and I've moved it. That's why we need our sticky mat. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Okie dokie. Now, we're going to use Sparkling Rose, and we're going to bring in a brush. These are the Altenew ones, and all I do is just tap the top. I take off just a little bit of excess, and we're just going to go around very gently and softly. Blend that colour over that cardstock. It's a pretty colour, this. Now, I don't want it too dark, but in saying that, I want the middle a little bit darker than the ends of the petals. So I'm only going to use the one colour, and I'm just blending a little bit more in the middle. And that looks about right to me. Then we'll go on to our next one. I'm not really holding the mask, or the stencil I should say, too tight. It may look like it, but I'm not really. And again, I'm just going to go in the middle, just that little bit darker, and blend it out towards the ends of the petals. So my ends of the petals are still a little bit light. And again here as well. Okay. I love these brushes. And that should be it. So that's our flowers. Pretty yummy. Then we've got two little extra bits down here. So this one here belongs to the bottom of this flower. And I'm not even going to re-ink my brush. I'm just going to gently go over the stencil. Now you can make this part darker if you wanted to, but I'm going to keep it very light. And that's it there. Then this little bit here goes over the bottom of this petal, or this flower. And again, I'm not going to ink the brush. Well, I think I might actually. I've tapped off a little bit more because I just want it really light. And that's it. And that's our flowers done. And that's all we're going to do. Okay. Then there's another one that we're going to do. For the centres of our flowers. Okay. So we're just going to pop these in. I'm just going to get some yellow. Do much without ink, can we? Okay, so we're just going to pop these in just like that. And that looks pretty good. And this is Limoncello, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'll just get another brush, and I'm just going to go over the middle. I think this is a yellow-green colour. It's a really bright colour. It's a pretty colour actually. And look at that. And that's all we're going to do. Okay. Then what I did, I'll just move all this aside. Then what I did was grab our die set. Now this die cuts out all 3 flowers at once. So I just lined it up and ran it through a die cutting machine. Okay, and then what we got were these 3 flowers here. Now I haven't actually done the middles of these flowers. Maybe I should have. Actually, we might do that. Let's do that, eh? We'll just do them separately. I should have done it before I die cut it, but bring in our brush again, and I'm going to go right over the top so that it's really, really nice and bright. There you go. 1. Whoops, stuck my finger right in there. 2. But that makes a big difference, eh? And 3. Pretty colour. Okay, now we've done that and we've die cut them. Now I'll bring in this piece. I've already done that. I've used the same colours and I've had a little bit of blue and a little bit of the green. Okay, and what we're going to do with this now is chop it back to size. So we're going to mat it onto this size, which is the Petunia Pop. Okay. So we'll just chop this back to size. We'll chop it about there for the moment and see how we go, eh? Actually, I might bring it across a little bit. Now, I'm not too worried about chopping all these extra pieces off. I think about there should do us. What size is this? 3 or 7.6. Okay, 3. We want it. Okie dokie, and then we're going to chop from the bottom. I'm just going to chop a little bit more off because we want to layer it onto that piece of Petunia Pop. Okay, so that's done. Then what we'll do is this is where we're going to layer it onto here, and hopefully I might just chop this back. Looks a little bit too wide. And I'm going to chop, whoops, this back a little bit. Okay. So that's done. Bring in our glue. And we'll just stick this to that layered, leaving a small piece showing around all the sides, so that it's nice and even on all sides. Then we've got a piece of basic white that we've embossed with the exposed brick 3D embossing folder, and we're going to stick this to a white base card. I always add a little bit of extra glue when I'm using embossing folders. Sorry about that noise in the background. The workmen must be out in the walkway. Well, they are. Chopping it all back. Okay. So that's done. Okay. Then what we're going to do is bring in our flowers that we've pre-done and that we had done previously on our stencils. We're going to grab our foam folder and we're just going to turn our petals up a little bit. Okay, just be gentle when you do this, because you don't want to rip your petals. And while we're here, I'm going to come around the other side and I'm just going to randomly turn part of the petal under again, so that we've got some coming up and some going down. Okay, just gives it a little bit of interest, that extra interest. I'll do that side. And then we're going to do the small one, same way. And just grab a little bit of your petal and just fold it back under. Doesn't have to be all of it. And all we're going to do then is grab our dimensionals. We're going to put one in the middle of each flower, okay? And making sure you match up your images. Just pop that on there like that. Now I don't know whether you can notice that or not, but it gives it, it looks like flowers being blown in all different directions, the petals. Okay. And the same again with this one. Just adds a little bit more oomph to your cards. And we'll use I know I've already stenciled these flowers, but at the time I wasn't too sure whether I was going to pop them up or not. So that's done. Okay, so that's card basically done, but we're going to do something a little bit different. Now, I don't know what this is called, whether it's a pop-up panel or pop-up front panel, I don't know. I saw this done by Jennifer Maguire some time ago, and it's just always stuck in the head. So what we're going to do is grab a piece of cardstock. I think this is about 5.5 inches, and I think it probably is 2.5 inches, okay? But you could have any width as long as it's not as wide, as long as it's not longer than the height of your panel. What we're going to do, I like to use my scoring tool. We're going to grab and we're going to score 3 times at either end. So 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5. And then we are going to fold these scored lines in a concertina fold, so that they are nice and crisp and sharp. Okay, and then repeat for your opposite side. Just like that. So that's what it will look like. And of course I've pre-done one, and that's it there. So what we're going to do now is apply glue to both sides of these little pop-up bits. Now we're going portrait, but you can also create the same card landscape as well. Okay, just that my image was going portrait. And all we're going to do is pop this smack bang in the middle of our card, just like that. And I grab my bone folder and I just burnish along that glue area, just to make sure that it's nicely stuck down and adhered properly. You don't want it to sort of move. You could also put it aside and place something heavy on it to hold it into place for a little bit. But that should be secure now. And then all we're going to do is grab this. Well, we're not going to grab this. We're going to grab our glue once again, and we're going to apply it to the back of that panel. Grab our card, making sure it's nice and straight. Plonk that over the top. And I just grab my bone folder and just sort of gently help it adhere into place. Okay, and that, it will sit flat in your envelope. Grab our envelope. Okay, so sits flat in your envelope like that. When you open it up, it will pop up. So that's the little mechanism I'm not sure whether you can see that. Little mechanism at the back and the side, and it will pop down. And then it pops up. Okay? Then we're going to finish off our card with a little bit of embossing. And all we're going to do is stick this down the side like that, because you've got to finish off the inside of your cards. Well, I like to finish them off. I think it just helps create that bit of a layout. Okay, and then we'll put this to the inside of our card. Oops. Now I'll have all the measurements over on my blog, so be sure to click on the link in the description below. Now that's done. Now what we're going to do now is add our sentiment. Okie dokie. And I've used, because I've used thanks for showing you care. I think that's nice actually. There's another one here. Today calls for a celebration or best wishes. But we're just going to use thanks. Now I've stamped the sentiment onto a piece of Petunia Pop with Versamark, and I've heat set it with white embossing powder. And all we're going to do is put that there like that. Okie dokie. And I think we'll pop that up too, eh? So we'll grab some minis. And I'm just cutting a little bit off from the sides, because we only want a little strip. Little bagels. I don't want that to be seen from the outside or from the right side. And then we're going to grab some more, and we're just going to stick this bit under the T, or on the T I should say. And this has been die cut with the same dies. Cuts nicely too actually, I was really surprised. You haven't got a real wide, I might put it here, real wide border around it. I think it's nice. And just press down. Once you're happy with the placement. Then we'll finish it off. I'm thinking, I just want to see how these go. Yeah, we might add those, eh? And that is our card for today. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And as I mentioned, I will have all the measurements on my blog. So be sure to click on the link below. But before we go, I just want to show you another one we did. and that's the same concept, except I've used Gorgeous Drape, I think it is, and don't know the ink I've used on this, but and it's been coloured, the stencils, the pink, yellow, and another different green. I think it was a sage that I used for the green, and I've done the same embossing. The only difference is the flowers pop up, and I may even add some clear rhinestones to the middles too, just to finish it off nicely. Okay, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy your day. See ya. Hooray.